Hello and many thanks for joining us on the program this morning. This is Daybreak Africa, reaching you live on television Nigerian. I'm Aisha Salim.
And I'm Victor Sahemba. Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak Africa, like you said.
Right. Today, let's start from the weather.
Yeah, the weather has been nice. Like this is the weather I really love in all of the seasons of the year.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I love the cool weather because it really saves you from the heat and the discomfort you feel during that.
But what
hot
about
period.
the harshness that comes with this harmattan?
What harshness?
Of course, our noses are running dry.
I think they are.
And then the dust everywhere and all of that.
I think they are sacrificed enough for this chilly weather.
Really?
Yes, this weather is quite friendly. I don't so much.
Some of us
love
already
the
have a
rainy
cold.
or the so much hot season.
Right.
You know, I don't like that. Like the hot season is one that I dread very much because that is a period that you can't really sleep comfortably at home.
Right.
Like if there's no electricity to sustain or make the night sleep peaceful, or then in the daytime you're sweating so much. You know, I love this weather that is just cool, calm. You know, forget the cold that comes with it and all of that.
Okay,
yes.
all right then. So talking about discomfort, just yesterday we still talked about the motorcycle ban in Lagos State, and it's been raising a lot of issues. The governor is faced with people protesting over that particular government policy. I guess yesterday we also recorded an incident. It was in the news that some protesters, Okada protesters, and the police, operatives of the police of Lagos State, there was a clash yesterday, and according to reports, some lives were lost and then property destroyed in the process. But then again, fresh protests have hit the streets of Lagos State over the decision by the government to ban motorcycles, Okada and tricycles, keke, in certain areas of Lagos. Lagosians woke up on Monday to great difficulties in getting to work, offices, schools and other places as the government ban on keke and Okada took effect. This is something that is not sitting well with the people.
It definitely won't sit well with the people because of the stress, the discomfort, like you said earlier, that accompanies it. Now, yesterday, when you follow the lesson reactions of people on it, from it really shows that they were in great difficulty getting to work, moving about in Lagos State. In fact, this had actually worsened the traffic situation, the same traffic situation that the government
is trying to curb.
That banning keke and Okada was going to do. No, now because a lot of cars are now outside. Because I know for a fact that there are some certain people who don't even use their vehicles just to avoid the Lagos traffic, so they try to use the public transport, which might include the keke and whatever and Okada. But now they are forced to go back to using their cars because really they can't do that. And people, the other discomfort, like people having to wake earlier than they should. In fact, people who work within Ikeja, were telling me that now, like as yesterday, they had to wake up as early as 6. So that they can get ready for work, and they work within Ikeja. Yeah, so it's more like you are from Ogba coming to like the main Ikeja or something like that. You know, so tricycles used to help, and I know that from Ikeja to Ogba you can get tricycles going. From less than Ikeja to Agege you get tricycle going, and now all this have been covered. So it has worsened the security, the traffic situation in Lagos and then it has increased the difficulty people normally experience going around their duty. And then we also had other reactions that, okay, in the absence of keke and Okada, then we were using horses. Now,
of course, I saw hilarious videos yesterday online of a particular horse that, in form of, the horse was tired. The horse could not move anymore. So it was so hilarious. You know, Nigerians always have a way of creating humor out of a situation. But then again, this situation is indeed very serious. And then the People's Democratic Party are frowning at it. I saw reports from them yesterday. And then a lot of people are just frowning at the whole policy by the Lagos State government. But then again, the government yesterday approved or ordered the 65 buses and also ferries as well to help convey people. But then again, if you look at it properly, 65 buses, more buses is not enough. It's not enough because the population in Lagos State is way too much.
And that is even less than beside the point. Another point they have to even ask, another question they have to ask themselves: the buses that were on ground when you already have keke and the okada, were those buses enough to cater for people? Absolutely, the answer is no. They weren't even enough to cater people, because from the thing is, when you go to BRT bus stops, you see a long queue of people waiting. There are not enough buses coming to pick them. So sometimes waiting on that BRT queue is supposed to provide that comfort travel for you within this Lagos state. But then getting to use this service is actually a problem, because you stay there for hours. So sometimes you might look like, okay, why should I have to stay on the queue for such long hours, and maybe where I can just stay by the other side and then struggle for a bus and get to where I'm going and all of that. So it's basically 65 buses for the 6 local government that is definitely not enough. Definitely
okay,
not.
well, the federal government has also reacted to it. Nigeria's Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has aired the federal government's perception on the recent ban of Okada and tricycles in some parts of Lagos State. And I think it's a good call that the federal government is trying to weigh in on that particular situation, so we don't get to have anarchy or.
Their weighing in was nothing of positive. It was just the minister saying, well, we do not have jurisdiction to tell the Lagos state government what they should do concerning their transport or how they structure their transport system. That is exclusively in the purview of the Lagos state government. So
right.
They can't call on the federal government to come and intervene in this.
But then again, I think it's something that has to do with Lagos State or as a state on its own.
Yes, so that's why the minister was saying this is a responsibility of the Lagos state government. The federal government does not have a hand in it, and then the federal government cannot influence what the state government decides to do with its transport sector. Yeah.
I think Babajide Sanwo-Olu has to really go back to the drawing board and rethink this policy.
The thing is, why this ban was going to take effect, right? People get to remind the governor of things he said during the election, during that electioneering process and all of that. So, he appeared on the platform. There were other places he made speeches about how they are going to handle it. And in fact, at the platform, what he said mostly was that Okada was going to be, that they are going to put them all together in a way that the activities are going to be coordinated, monitored electronically and technologically. So in the sense that, yes, Okadas are going to be there, but then it won't be those kind of unruly Okadas that you just have everywhere. It's more like people who are refined, people that you can order just like you have OK.
But then if we're talking about people, Okada users who are refined and everything, how come GoKada is also involved? How come OK and the rest of them?
That is the whole issue we're talking about. So like bringing back those old videos to just call out and say the governor is being a hypocrite, saying one thing during election campaigns and then doing the exact opposite.
Because if you ask me, I think the GoKada thing, if you are talking about monitoring the activities of the motorcyclists and everything, the GoKada thing and the all-ride, they are good enough to actually still use the Lagos roads, not the regular Okadas that maybe the government feel they are unruly and all of that.
Well, this government says Okada is Okada, regardless of whether you call it Max Okada, GoKada, or
what about the tricycles too?
Well, the same thing for the government. They said it is not part of the Greater Lagos plan, so you can't say anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then again, like we always say on this program is a highly interactive program. So we'd love to hear from you. If you're watching us from Lagos State, we'd love to hear what you're going through and what you think the government should put in place. We're taking your comments, we're reading your comments, and a lot of viewers out there, we want to actually hear your opinion. We're still talking about the Okada tricycle ban in Lagos State, Nigeria. So moving on to the next story here, which is that of just yesterday we also talked about the story. It's that of the travel visa ban by the United States. The Donald Trump-led administration has revealed how they warned the Nigerian government of impending action since March 11, 2019, but the sub-Saharan country failed to take any proactive measures. Speaking further, why the immigration visa ban was imposed on Nigeria in a proclamation published on the White House website. The U.S. said Nigeria and the 5 other affected countries were among the worst performing in the world. I think this is something that is really, it slaps us really badly.
Yes, it does. And apologies to the other 5 countries that were also included on that list. When you look at it, like the country that really gives you that big status of it on everything is Nigeria, basically, because then you look at other countries like Eritrea, who are just battling and coming out from a long civil war with their distant neighbors, Ethiopia, Burma, which has always been in crisis, and sort of like a war zone. You can talk less like Kazakhstan, also not stable. Talk about Sudan, who just also until a few years ago splitted between Sudan and South Sudan, so which they also are unstable, and they also look at the issue of the downfall of Bashir Omar. Then you also look at Tanzania. So these are countries that when you try to compare, they pale in comparison to the status that Nigeria is supposed to, and then Nigeria gets to fall into this category like these other countries, and then Nigeria is having it worse than these other countries. And
we're facing the same visa ban as those other countries.
Exactly. So it's why yesterday I was saying that now setting up a committee might just be messing after death, because like I said earlier yesterday, they have always carried these governments along. This is what the United States government said, that they always carry these countries' governments along. And then how do you not get to respond to this? There were actually news last year that US was considering placing Nigeria on this travel ban, but it didn't happen. That was before we even had the issue of what they call this issue. Visa fee being increased, and let's let the U.S. government also let's retaliating to increase their own visa fee and all of that. So the reason I say setting up a committee after this has been done is making that this is something that was totally avoidable. That if we are taking those warnings serious and then we acted in the way that was supposed to act, then we wouldn't have been in this situation.
Well, it's Nigeria.
But we can always do better.
Of course, we can always do better, and there is room for improvement as always. So we're still talking about security matters. Yesterday we also talked. We also did mention the security challenges in the country, and we talked about the trek by the Redeemed Christian Church of God General Overseer. But today, just yesterday, Yerima Shettima, the President General of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, has declared his support that Nigerian security chiefs should be sacked. Shettima had made the statement in a chat with newsmen, stating that all the security chiefs have run out of ideas in finding solutions to the current security challenges in the country. This is something that is, I think it's a big one from Yerima Shettima, saying that all the security chiefs should be sacked. Because you'd recall that just last week when Senator Eyinaya Abaribe actually asked for the resignation of the president, and then although that didn't go as he wanted, but then again we saw that the president called security meeting where following that particular incident, and then we had in attendance all of the security chiefs at the villa, and then a lot of Nigerians thought maybe the security chiefs were going to be, the service chiefs were going to be sacked, but that didn't happen. Although we didn't get the details of what the meeting was about, but then we know that the president called the meeting as a result of the security challenge, the recent, it's the continuous security challenge that is in the country. And now Shettima Yerima is calling for the sack of these security chiefs. What do you really think about all of this? Do you think sacking them is the right step, or I don't know?
Well, the thing is, a lot of people have different opinions about it. Those that feel that, okay, they have really expended their
tenure.
No, not their tenure. Maybe their competence, their lesson strategy. Maybe they've expended all
like
that.
You said, they're running out of ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So running out of ideas. So maybe they need fresh people to work with those ideas. And then some people disagree. They're like, no, why would you think that they should move these people out and then bring in new people, because the new people they are bringing used to work with these people. So if they had ideas, they should pass it through this.
Right.
Through these
and
people.
then you see, this is the problem we always have in the country. If you're saying because these particular people are not doing their jobs well, so they should go, let us bring another person. I hope you seem to forget the fact that when these new people come, the ideas these people had in place, the plans that was already in place, these new people are going to completely rubbish that, and then they will disregard that, and then they are coming up with a different approach. And then these people who have been there are the ones who are really aware of the damage, the level at which the security challenges we're facing in the country is, and they're the ones who actually already have strategies. So if you're bringing new people who maybe do not really have an idea of what is happening already, but you just feel they have a better expertise, and now when they come in, so they have to go back and start from the scratch, and the whole thing becomes cumbersome, and then we're back at where we were. I'm just saying.
I just saying there. No problem. So maybe we can just move on.
Right. Okay, so we're still talking security issues, and then yesterday we also mentioned that the Living Faith Church in Kaduna was almost attacked, although the police was able to actually curb that by there was an attempted suicide attack in the church premises. Founder and general overseer of Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel, Bishop David Oyedepo, has placed a curse on the man who attempted to burn his church in Kaduna State. A suspected suicide bomber was arrested inside the church located in Sabon Tasha in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. That particular issue is something that I really want us to talk about this morning, because just yesterday the stories that followed that arrest, his name is Nathaniel Samuel, right?
Yes.
Nathaniel Samuel. And then, but a lot of Nigerians, it became a debate on social media. Some people were like, he's not, according to his name, he's a Christian. But some people were like, he's not a Christian, he's a Muslim, his name is Muhammad Sani, and he's Muslim Fulani from Kaduna State. And then there were lots of reports. And now the general overseer of the church has placed the curse. Okay, my question now is, this curse, is it actually, how far is it going to go? Is it actually going to manifest? Is it going to come into manifestation? And because a lot of Nigerians, we place curses every day. We curse people every day. So if this man of God is placing a curse on people who want to sabotage his church or want to commit a crime, atrocity in his church, how far do you think this curse can go? How viral do you think this curse is?
Well, I am not the consultant of curses, and I don't know how curses actually operate or get to work out. But then that is possible. So some people will feel that it was wrong for him to place a curse on somebody. After all, he did not succeed, and then it will be more of like, as a man of God, you should look at this was a lost soul, and then find a way to bring that soul into the fold.
Instead of placing a curse.
Instead of placing a curse, because he didn't really succeed. So why are you placing a curse? But I don't know how these things work anyway. So those are the people that will disagree, and there are people that we agree that, of course, why shouldn't you place a curse? Why? Because why will you want to go into a church premises to bomb these worshippers who have come there on Sunday to worship and all of that? So it just depends. And on the issue of Sani versus
Nathaniel,
where the issue still remains a debate, which is why I keep saying that the divide in this country is sometimes, for the fact that it's wide, it's also that sometimes the frivolous things, the most frivolous things, seems to be what brings out that seems to make darkness and division in us actually manifest, because the point of the matter, which is also a fact, was that a suicide bomber was caught in the church and prevented from carrying his attack while he really went there to do. But beyond that, then you now come out to argue where to shift the blame to. So if you were a Christian, was it the Islam Christian religion that said go and blow up the church? Or if it was a Muslim, was it the Muslim religion that said go up and blow the church? Let's just forget about where he come from. And then the person that actually came out to reveal that he's this Muhammad Sani is somebody that some people will not really take
take his words seriously
and all of that. So let us forget for now the details that we know coming from the officials, including the police and all that his name is Nathaniel Samuel. So we are going to stick with that until it is really proven otherwise. And even if it's proven otherwise, it does not really mean anything. The fact that remains and what really matters was that an attempted suicide bombing was prevented, lives were saved, and that was it. And the culprit was caught. That was it.
Okay, so on a more exciting note, just yesterday we did talk about the general manager of Television Nigeria was on the program yesterday, and we talked about the arrest and detainment and parading of the Nigerian journalists at the police station just in Abuja. The arrest happened over the weekend on Friday, but then today now we're coming out to tell our viewers that so far the case was taken to the magistrate court just yesterday, and these 5 journalists have been granted bail. They have been granted bail. That's an update on what we told you yesterday. They have been granted bail, and we're hoping that the case moving forward would be settled within the jurisdiction of the court. But for now, the information is that these 5 journalists who were unlawfully detained, arrested, and they spent over 72 hours in police detention have been granted bail by the magistrate court here in Abuja. Okay, so I guess we've talked so much about Nigeria, but the issues in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized.
Definitely.
Would have to go over to, because Daybreak Africa is not just about Nigeria. We also accommodate stories and issues coming out from the other parts of the continent, Africa. News Across Africa is up next, where we'll bring you up to speed on what's happening in the continent of Africa. Stay with us.
Welcome to News Across Africa on Daybreak Africa. Tunisia's President Kais Saied is on his first visit outside Tunisia since he won the presidency. Kais Saied was received by his counterpart in Algeria's President Abdelmadjid Tebboune for a one-day visit on Monday. The two leaders held talks on ways and means to enhance cooperation, also discussed regional issues on that of Libya and Palestine. The World Health Organization has since declared coronavirus a public health emergency of international dimensions. WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus said while China had a robust health system to dictate and control, his outfit remained concerned about the virus entering countries with weak systems. Almost all African governments have publicly put in place strict screening at points of entry, especially airports. Ivory Coast, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Botswana have recorded suspected cases. All except Botswana have reported that the tests were negative. African airlines have cancelled scheduled flights to China except for Ethiopian Airways. The entry of many companies into the Moroccan mining sector in recent years is not unrelated to the country's decision to revive the exploration of its resources. Despite a century behind, Casablanca, which maintains its ambition to play a leading role in the global energy sector, is working to attract more local and international investors in order to develop the sector. However, solar power plants continue to make waves, and it's making significant impact in the mining sector in most African countries. It's mostly used for photovoltaic power plants and panels. Solar energy is now contributing heavily to the economic development of some African countries. Malawi's Constitutional Court will on Monday deliver a ruling on last year's disputed presidential election that led to the deadly competition and widespread unrest. President Peter Mutharika was declared the narrow winner of the May election with 38% of votes, followed by Lazarus Chakwera with 35% and former Vice President Salus Chilima third with 20%. The 4 other candidates collectively got nearly 6%. The 5-judge panel has heard arguments that the vote was rigged by the President and Electoral Commission. The months-long court case has been accompanied by sometimes violent street protests demanding the resignation of Electoral Commission Chairwoman Jane Ansah. The Malawi Human Rights Commission late last year released a report accusing the police of serious human rights abuses, including rape and assault in one confrontation. The United Nations has invited the head of Sudan's Sovereign Council, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan to Washington as the two countries forged stronger bilateral ties following decades of hostility. Sudan's civilian Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok visited Washington last month, and Burhan will be one of the few African leaders that have been invited to discuss bilateral ties with Donald Trump's administration. Burhan was invited by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo during a phone call in December. Pompeo said the two countries plan to exchange ambassadors after a 23-year hiatus, demonstrating the warmer ties since President Omar al-Bashir was ousted. Sudan's Transitional Council said Burhan's visit is designed to discuss bilateral relationship between the two countries and ways of developing them.
World Cancer Day is the one singular initiative under which the entire world can unite together in the fight against the global cancer epidemic. It takes place every year on 4th February. World Cancer Day aims to save millions of preventable deaths each year by raising awareness and education about cancer and pressing governments and individuals across the world to take action against the disease. UICC continues to expand on the success and impact of the day and is committed to ensuring the year-on-year the event is seen and heard by more people around the world. Today is World Cancer Day, and it's a day that has been set aside by the United Nations to actually create awareness
exactly
to this deadly disease. Cancer is something that has come to stay. I'm sorry to say that, but then it has come to stay.
No, of course, it's everybody knows that cancer is here to stay. What's more important is like people living a lifestyle that prevents cancer from visiting them at any point in time, and because the treatment of cancer is usually long, tedious, and does not have really such a huge chance of being successful in the long run, right, and all of that. But so it's why every time they kind of advocate that people live a more healthier life, you work out, you eat healthy, you do stuff, be more mindful of your body, which is doing regular checkup, and early detection is very key as well,
right?
Because if you are able to detect early in time, then at that early stages it can still be treated and basically less than taken care of than when you do not notice it in time, and then you allow it to become an issue that
I think people need to be more aware of their health.
Exactly.
Because these cancers that we're talking about, there are lots of cancerous cells in our bodies. So it's more of what you consume, what you take in, how is your healthy living, how are you living healthy, and on all of that. Although some people try to attach spiritual meanings to cases of cancers, because we have the blood cancer, which is leukemia, we have the breast cancer, the cancer of the lungs, there's several places in the body, organs in the body now that cancer can actually come up from. So I think it's more of if we try to put our health as priority, whatever you're taking in, whatever you're eating, even what you're taking in and taking out, it should be put into consideration, and there should be constant medical checkup. We're undergoing a lot of stress daily, and then maybe some of the activities we engage in, maybe our workplace or businesses or something, it's telling on our bodies. But then the fact that we actually neglect our health, we don't go for regular medical checkups and all of that, we don't get to know if these cancerous cells have started developing tumors in our body. So I think today has been set aside to create awareness to people. Okay, this is how to live better. This is how to do better, do right by yourself, by your body, just so you don't contract the deadly disease, cancer. It's indeed deadly.
Of course it is.
Because the process of the chemo, that's
the
chemotherapy, and then it's expensive. You hear that because some of our hospitals here cannot really cater for cancer patients, so they have to, especially India, you see people saying we have to take our patients to India and all of that to get better health care, and it's expensive. It's unaffordable, if you ask me. So
I agree.
Like you said, I think early detection or taking
really
care
matters, yes, and then taking care of yourself, yes, because like they always say, prevention is actually better than cure.
Right. Well, we do have a United Nations report here that is going to give us more awareness, create a better understanding of what this whole menace or disease, cancer, is about, and how it can be prevented and how it can be avoided. And in the case you already have it, how you can actually go about it, manage it. So this is United Nations report. Stay with us.
Courage. Real courage is seeing the things others ignore. It's believing in the incredible and achieving what some call impossible. Worldwide, millions are affected by cancer every year. Your education, income, gender, and where you live can determine if you live. It hurts families, slows economies, it holds us back. It's easy to lose hope, but progress is possible. A better future is within our reach. More cancers can be prevented, treated, even cured. More people are alive within 5 years of a cancer diagnosis than ever before. we can eliminate cervical cancer in our children's lifetimes. Our leaders have the political will to make changes across cities, countries, continents. You are shining a light in the darkness. Together, we're making breakthroughs and breaking new ground, fighting the fears and stigma that threaten to stop us in our tracks. There are many reasons to have hope, but to truly succeed, we need to build on our momentum. We can't stop now. It will take all of us, planners and doers, builders and helpers, dreamers and fighters. Every action counts, from the astonishing to the everyday. Because a healthier world, an end to millions of preventable cancer deaths, a more equal and just society with access to life-saving treatment for everyone, that's a world worth fighting for.
It was a good outcome because all of the lymph nodes were negative. Congratulations, Will.
Progress is possible, but it's not inevitable. We're achieving so much, but there's more to be done. The only questions now are, who are you, and what will you do?
The bravest thing we can do about cancer is to do much more than we ever thought it was possible. Radiotherapy is essential in this regard. With radiotherapy, we kill tumors. With radiotherapy, we ease pain. But in 1/3 of low and middle-income countries, there is a lack of radiotherapy treatment and units. 28 countries in Africa lack a single radiotherapy unit. In these countries, a cancer diagnosis is often almost as a death sentence, but this must change. Take breast or cervical cancer. These are easily treatable and curable in rich industrialized nations, but this is not the case in poor countries. 300,000 women die of cervical cancer every year. This is a scandal. This must stop. We can do it. The IAEA is ready to make radiotherapy treatment available in more countries. The IAEA is ready. Join us.
More people are being diagnosed with cancer than ever before. In fact, 1 in every 2 of us will either face a cancer diagnosis or know someone who is. It's a disease that affects people in every country around the world. Cancer doesn't care where you live, what your religion is, what your ethnicity is, or how much money you make. But in the face of incredible odds, we are making inroads. We are standing together, united in our bravery and our singular goal to eliminate cancer in our lifetime. We won't do it alone, but we can do it together. On World Cancer Day 2020, let's link arms and be brave and stand together against this disease. Historians will say that 2020 was the beginning of the end of cancer.
I think the bravest thing that we as an organisation can do is really to speak up, to take action, and to really hold governments to account for the commitments they've made around cancer prevention and cancer control. When we look around the world, there's huge inequities in access to care, there's lack of funding, and there hasn't been enough action on the ground by governments. So really holding our political leaders to account.
The bravest thing we can do to beat cancer is prevent it. We need bold action to stop the cause of cancer in the food people eat, the air they breathe, and the conditions in which they work and live. But when people do get cancer, it's unacceptable that the privileged few get life-saving treatment while millions receive substandard care and lack access to essential medicines. Health for all means preventing more cancers and ensuring that each and every cancer patient has access to quality, effective cancer care.
Well, that was a report on deadly cancer disease that has come to stay. So we're still talking about diseases amidst fears of the deadly coronavirus claiming lives in China, which has also spread to some other countries of the world. Some Nigerians have been concerned in the have been cornered in the Wuhan, according to reports made available to the media on Monday. More numbers have been added to the death toll as records of the infected persons also increase. It's actually a very serious issue to know that some Nigerians are stranded in Wuhan.
Yes, very. And one other hilarious story that actually is developed from this fact that we had Nigerians stranded in Wuhan,
China.
Yes, it's like the government is reluctant to find a way to bring them back, despite the fact that they want to bring them back. It's like, no, man, you just got to stay there. Let us sort out these things first.
No, but then again, you recall that, okay.
In Lagos State, there is a commissioner for health saying, now this is what he said, those of you coming from China, you need to quarantine yourself.
Right.
So it means you are responsible for
yourself.
Your own self, and you are responsible for not like in the event that you have the disease coming to Nigeria, you are responsible for not spreading it around. So it is not the government. So I'm like, how do you tell people that they should quarantine themselves when they come into the country, and when you know that that's basically not possible? Because I don't think somebody will come back from a journey from China and then will go and lock himself up somewhere and then seclude himself. What treatment will he be getting? Definitely he's going to get access to, his friends, families, and relatives are going to get access to him, because definitely they want to welcome him or her coming back from China and all of that. So I think that was actually a very hilarious thing to say.
But then again, you'd recall that some days ago there was actually reports in the media that some flights coming into Nigeria and going outside Nigeria, especially the ones coming from China, have been, it's more like our airports have been shut for now for them.
Yes.
So if we have Nigerians who are stranded in Wuhan, China, and these people, they are our people, they have to come home. Although we're scared of the disease, they themselves are scared of the disease because they are still there in China there, and it's possible they may have contracted it or they are yet to contract it, but then they have to live there. So if we're saying we're closing our airports and the seaports and all the borders, so people coming from China do not get access to the country, how then do we rescue?
So that's what I'm saying.
Nigerians.
No, that's what I'm saying. Fact that the government might just be reluctant to do that because they don't want to have a case on their hand.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. And then also looking at the fact that we are not the only one that have closed our airspace to flights coming from China. I think the only African country still flying to China is Ethiopian Airways, which are still flying. And then the consequence of that is like within the past 1 week or thereabout, they have had several suspected cases of the virus. Yes. Then Botswana at a point also left its own airspace open for flights coming in from China, and then they had about 5 suspected cases before they finally decided to we're not taking any flights from China. Now they have had 5 suspected cases, and they have not come out to claim that even one was negative. They have not come out to claim. They have not come out to claim either none has been whether they have been negative or positive. So we don't know the status of 5 people in Botswana who were suspected to have that disease. Kenya has also had a scare. The same thing with Ivory Coast. Ethiopia is like a regular stuff for them because they keep flying to China and coming back, which I think it's endangering a lot of people in Ethiopia. There. So when you also look at, and then, this is what the World Health Organization boss said, that China is advanced. It has the equipment to tackle this virus. And then let's not forget that in Wuhan, under the space of 10 days or 14 days, China built a 1,006 bed hospital, fully equipped. It's going to kick off operation, I think today. That is if it didn't start operating as of yesterday. So in 2 weeks, they built a 1,006 bed hospital, fully equipped with all the necessary facilities and lesson convenience that you have, just so that they can take care of this. Now, not other countries. Ethiopia cannot do that. Nigeria cannot do that. I think probably the reason why we're not taking flights from anywhere.
Right.
Kenya cannot do that. You cannot. we have been trying to build less than second Niger bridge since like when? Maybe before I was even born, and then it's still undone and all of that. So it still becomes, then we can get that. We have a lot of projects that are supposed to have been completed like many years ago that are still not completed. And then China is building a 1,006 bed hospital in a space of just 14 days, and then kicking off operations. So I think that is what the WHO was saying, that they have the advancement, they have the quality, they have the necessary equipment to tackle and contain this, but other countries are not. So it is reason why people are afraid. And then let's know one other thing was like world leaders in holding a conference in the let's say United Nations, whatever they do, they couldn't come face to face, maybe for the fear of the virus, so they had to do a video conference. Everybody stay in your country. Let us do this.
Please, let us just do this. Let us just do this conference via internet.
So the thing is, even foreign countries, even European countries have also closed their own space to flights coming in from China and all of that. Can't come in, you can't go out to China.
Okay, so what then is the fate of Nigerians who are held up in Wuhan, China?
Well, I think whatever, if they haven't gotten the virus, whatever they have been doing that they haven't gotten the virus, they should just
keep doing it
until everything is relaxed and under control, because this is actually a
it's an epidemic.
World health emergency that everybody is really battling with. So UK already has 2 cases confirmed.
Right. And then America has cases confirmed too.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can't afford to have such in Nigeria.
Well, because people really doubt the capacity of Nigeria to handle this.
Because we're still handling Lassa fever now.
Yeah, and it seems that this is actually more deadly than the other virus, Ebola virus that we had at that time that we were able to contain. Yes, and all of that. But then this one, people really doubt our capacity. And then some people are saying that we have the capacity, but then some people say, let us not test that capacity.
Okay, so I'm still talking about health matters. We earlier on we told you about cancer, and now we're talking coronavirus, we're talking Lassa fever. But then again, how much do we actually put into consideration what we take in, our health issues, our health matters? How much do we actually try as much as possible to make it a priority? But up next is healthy living, where we give you the benefits of eggs. Yes, eggs are really good for consumption, so stay with us. Healthy living is up next.
Welcome to another episode of Healthy Living on Daybreak Africa. Today we shall be discussing on amazing health benefits of eating eggs. Egg is the female reproductive cell in many animals, or the thin shelled oval body laid by ants or other animals. Eggs contain several vitamins and minerals that are essential parts of a healthful diet. In many parts of the world, eggs are a readily available, inexpensive food. As a matter of fact, eggs are the most nutritious food in the world. A whole egg contains all the nutrients you require to turn a single cell into a baby chicken. Eggs also contain various trace nutrients that are important for your health. Eggs are a versatile food, and many people enjoy them fried, boiled, scrambled, or baked. They are easy to incorporate into a diet. Boiled or poached egg, for example, are simple to make and contain no added fat. Sprinkle pepper, chili powder, or sumac on the eggs for added flavor. Plain boiled egg can be a good snack or a meal for a person with digestive problem or someone who is recovering from an illness. Hard-boiled eggs are a convenient picnic food, and they go well in a salad. Huevos rancheros is a Latin favorite that involve an egg on a paste of tomatoes with herbs and other flavoring. Try this recipe. For a healthy omelette or scrambled eggs, use vegetable oil and add onions, herbs, garlic, peas, and sweet corn for extra nutrition. In the past, there was some controversy about whether eggs are not healthful or not, especially considering cholesterol. The current thinking, however, is that in moderation, eggs are helpful as they can be good source of protein and other essential nutrients. Here are amazing health benefits of eating eggs. Eggs can provide a number of health benefits. Strong muscles. The protein in eggs help maintain and repair body tissues, including muscle. Brain health. Eggs contain vitamins and minerals that are necessary for the brain and nervous system to function effectively. Energy production. Eggs contain all the nutrients that the body needs to produce energy. A healthy immune system. The vitamin A, vitamin B12, and selenium in eggs are key to keeping the immune system healthy. Lower risks of heart disease. The choline in eggs play an important part in breaking down the amino acid homocysteine, which may contribute to heart disease. A healthy pregnancy. Eggs contain folic acid, which may help prevent congenital disabilities such as spina bifida. Eye health. The leucine and zeaxanthin in eggs help prevent macular degeneration, the leading cause of age-related blindness. Other vitamins in eggs also promote good vision. Weight loss and maintenance. The protein in eggs can help people feel full for longer. This can reduce the urge to snack and lower a person's overall calorie intake. Skin health. Some vitamins and minerals in eggs help promote healthy skin and prevent the breakdown of body tissues. A strong immune system also helps a person look and feel well. To experience the health benefits of eggs, a person should eat them as part of a balanced diet. Nutrition. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, one medium boiled or poached egg weighing 44 grams can provide the following nutrients. Eggs are also a source of vitamin A, B, E, and K. Egg whites and yolk are both rich sources of protein. Around 12.6% of the edible part of an egg is protein. In 2018, one researcher, trusted source, concluded that eggs contain high-quality protein and that eating egg is unlikely to lead to heart disease. While meat can also be a good source of protein, it may contain high levels of less healthful elements such as saturated fat. The question is, how many calories are in eggs? Fats. One medium egg contains about 4.2 grams of fat, of which 1.4 grams are saturated. Most fat in an egg is unsaturated. Experts consider this to be the best type of fat for a balanced diet. Omega-3 fatty acid. Eggs also supply omega-3 fatty acid mainly in the form of docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, which helps maintain brain function and vision. These fatty acids are most common in oily fish. Eggs can provide an alternative source for people who do not eat fish. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is an essential nutrient, and low levels can lead to weak or brittle bones. Contain this vitamin, and some are fortified with vitamin D through hen's feed. The body synthesizes most of the vitamin D that it needs from sunlight. Cholesterol. One medium egg typically contains 162 mg of cholesterol. In the past, experts recommended limiting the intake of eggs for these reasons. However, researchers have not found trusted source a link between egg consumption and the risk of heart disease. In summary, eggs can be a healthful addition to the diet. If a person eats them in moderation, a person should aim to eat a balanced diet with lots of variety rather than focusing on any individual food as a key to good health. You can see that eggs have all the essential nutrition which are predominant for keeping your body healthy. Well, that's what we have for you today on healthy living. Daybreak Africa continues shortly.
Many thanks for staying tuned on the program Daybreak Africa, reaching you live on television Nigerian. Moving on to another story which seems to be making the rounds. a former member of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, has reportedly turned down negotiation attempts to free him from Boko Haram terrorists. The ex-corps member, identified as Abraham Amuta, made his stance known to negotiators who went to the Sambisa forest to secure his release. That's actually strange, if you ask me. Very strange.
It's okay. It might be strange, but at the same time, it isn't strange, because I don't know what actually happens in their camp or whatever.
Forest.
Yes, but then if you look at the fact that most people, this is not the first case. A lot of people who have been kidnapped by Boko Haram, including ladies that were kidnapped to the camp, and they end up being married off to some of the lieutenant commanders in the Boko Haram
terrorist group.
Yes, terrorist group. When they were rescued and brought back, most of them felt the urge, the need to return back to their husband. Some of them really said that they want to go back, and there were reports that some of them even ran away from home back to the forest to be with their people. So I don't know what kind of treatment
they give to them
that some people will choose to remain
stay
there
back and not,
or
accept
after
freedom.
being rescued they will go back. And then let's not forget that during when they captured or they kidnapped girls from Dapchi, and after this negotiation and they went back to return the girls, in the manner in which they returned the girls, you could see the applause that they received, the kind of heroic welcome that they received. So these are people that are actually supposed to be kind of they're supposed to be enemy of the people. People are supposed to hate them, detest them, or everything. But then there are some people who really want to go back, be with them. So we might not really know what happened with this guy, the Abraham,
the ex-corps member.
Yes, we don't really know what happened with him. That we went there and then decided to be like, okay, no, I don't want to go back. I have to be here with people who forcefully adopted me, and I want to join this militia and go on with whatever.
Who knows? Maybe he's not even aware. Oh, okay, well, he's done with his youth service. Maybe if he was still serving, he would have known that it's better to come outside, especially now that corps members are receiving 33,000. So it's better to come out to enjoy his own share of the 33K, but he's an ex-corps member.
But really, if it is money, what if he's going to be earning much more?
Staying there.
So if I know that it is the money, because we know from the recent confession of some members that were arrested, at some point, some of them said that they get about 200,000 for a mission or something like that. So what do you think? So I think that is why, and this always been okay. Let me just bring back this that I was on a panel last year, 2019 years. Okay. That was last year at I think it was Day of the Gay Child or something like that. So I was supposed to speak in the panel and answer questions from female children, all of that, representing an organization. And then they were asking questions more about security. And I'm looking at the fact that it is not that we don't have the military to tackle Boko Haram and bring this to an end. But the thing is, we are approaching this war we are approaching this battle in the conventional war manner. And what these people are doing is not a conventional war. These are militia, these are less than guerrilla people, that despite the fact that they have less than military training, they don't go by less than military kind of lesson formation and all of that, and don't go by military rules. And then they are also fighting with ideology, and then we are going there with only military force. No, it is more about ideology. It's the reason why you get to find. But then the thing is, talking about this, looking at ways that we can move ahead of it, a lot of the young girls there do not really seem satisfied with my answer, me giving that to them. They were expecting more of me saying, okay, we have to equip our military and we'll go there and stamp them out and do whatever it is. But that is much you can do. The president, when he came in the first time, one of the first move he made, one of the first deft move he made to stop Boko Haram was move the CMD from Abuja to
Maiduguri.
Yes, and say, let it be there. This is where the whole war is happening. And then it yielded results to an extent. But then that's just what it's going to be. Why do people keep still joining? Still keep joining the group, despite knowing that they are against the state, they might be killed at any time. It's simply how are they being able to convince people to join them? That is the ideology. I will not see any reason why somebody will go to university, so educated, serving as a corps member, on his way to offer humanitarian service. He's kidnapped by these same terrorists, and then at the end of the day he says, no, I don't want to go back.
And then when they are asking for his release, and
he
said,
saying, no, I don't want to go back. How will you be forcefully taken away from your village, from your house, then married off unwillingly without your consent to somebody else, and then at the end of the day when you are rescued, you say, no, you want to go back to your husband in the forest, who is a distant terrorist, that they take care of you, do all of that. So I'm saying it is more about, this warfare is more about ideology than conventional warfare, where you have equipment and whatever. It can go on. Let's take a look. America has the strongest force in the world, but then they have been in Afghanistan, Iraq for quite a number of years, fighting terrorists. The Taliban is still there, Al-Qaeda is still there, Al-Shabaab is still there,
ISIS is still
Hezbollah is still there, ISIS is still there. That is what it is. You cannot really win this thing by your own warfare. It's ideology. Take this ideology to them. Let's find a superior ideology that will really convince people that let's fight. Some people get information about these Boko Haram terrorists, but they can't share it with the army because they feel that maybe they are fighting on their behalf, not knowing that the military are the one really fighting on their behalf. Well,
we cannot overemphasize the security issues in Nigeria,
no,
especially
really
with regards to the Boko Haram terrorism. Well, we do have a special report here talking about, like earlier in the program, we talked about how Senator Einaya Abaribe called for the resignation of the president. But now we do have a special report on that particular topic of discourse. So let us hear what Nigerians on the street have to say with regards to Senator Einaya Abaribe calling for the president's resignation over the insecurity challenges in the country. Stay with us.
The Senate Minority Leader, Senator Abaribe, calls for the resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari due to the insecurity situation in the country. We are on the streets of Abuja to find out what Nigerians think.
There is no point for the president to resign on the basis of insecurity. The thing that is very important for all of us as Nigerians is for the security architecture to be rejected. At least the service chiefs have overstayed. He should be able to reject the security apparatus and ensure that there is security of Nigerians. Then the government programs, his policies, these are the areas he can look into. Calling for his resignation, to me, at this material time, is not important.
A well thought of thought is a good thought. It's a voice crying in wilderness. In the person of Senator Abaribe. I'm not saying it because it's from Igbo. I'm from Igbo. And I love Nigeria. He should resign honorably. It will be a very good mark.
For me, what I will say is that even if Mr. President resigns, who is going to be competent to take over? That's the question I keep asking myself all this while. For me, it has done well, even from where the place I'm working. I know there's some changes. If not this because of this Mr. President, I know things have been going well in my company just because of Mr. President. So, for me, I would like him to continue.
For me, Senator Abaribe is very, very right. Yes, he should resign. Because, honestly speaking, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Things are not going on well. There's no work. There's no security. What is he doing there? He's doing nothing. For me, he's doing nothing, man. He's not doing anything. He should just resign. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. He should resign. Senator Abaribe is right. Very, very right. God is my witness.
I don't feel the president should resign. My reasons being that his resignation, we already know how we are as a nation. Nigeria already knows the state it is as a nation. So his resignation will probably call for uprising of so many things that I'm sure we're not ready for at this particular point in time as a nation. We already have a lot on our hands. So it's 2020, it's 2023, right? It's just around the corner. We've stayed 5 years. 3 more years will not hurt us. Do you get? So I feel like they should just let him stay in office. Him leaving the office, resigning now, in fact, number one, he's not going to resign. We all know that for a fact. Number two, him resigning now is not going to, I don't think it's going to be profitable to us as a nation. It's not.
He should resign. It's not, the situation is really not helping. We are tired. This is second tenure and still it's not fruitful. There's nothing coming out of it. Yeah, he should resign.
I don't think there is a reason why someone will tell me that they want to impeach or they want to drop down Buhari from the presidential this thing. I don't think there is a reason for that.
Yeah, I think they should resign. And the reason why they should resign, where you are not functioning, you don't really know your work. So that shows that you don't know what you are doing. So the best thing is just to give way to somebody that can do the work. That is all. They should resign. If they should tell them to resign, they should resign.
The security issue in the country is nothing to write home about. It's like a foul play. They are using it to make money. What the senator said is right, because Buhari is not capable of this country. So he should resign, because he's not capable of leading this country. He should resign.
On one side, I would say yes. On the other side, I would say no. For me, President have not done enough, but he has not failed completely to resign.
What I see there, because that if a person that cannot do the job that we are electing him for, he must resign. Because there's many things that have been happening in this country, killing of people, see, different kinds of things. We can say like Boko Haram, you say you have been defeated. But till today, they are still killing people. Fulani men, there's no solution. See the, what do you call it, bandits. All those things, kidnappers everywhere. Those things are happening, and we have service chiefs. They cannot do anything about it. They should resign. They don't know their job.
Well, you have heard the views of Nigerians on the street. Whether or not the president should resign, you can leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much. Peggy Shande, TVN.
Yes, that was Nigerians really having their say on whether the president should resign or not, or whether the service chief also should resign or not. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, like every Nigerians, in Nigeria, every issue is always, or in every issue, on every issue, are going to have less and divergent views about people, what they think that should happen or not. And then why that was going on, we also had some few people listen commenting, and let's see. So one here is from Marian Lucky, and he's saying Buhari will and must complete his tenure. I think this one feels very satisfied that the president of what the president is doing so far. So I feel that there's nothing for the president.
There's no reason for the president
why the president should resign. And there's somebody here from. This one seems to be my namesake. Victor Tokwe, and more like he just beating around and say, waiting we go again if Buhari resigns, and waiting we go again if him no resign.
Oh, okay. So I think this one is standing in the fence. So if he resigns, what will we get? If he doesn't resign, what are we going to get? Okay. So moving on to the next one.
So and then there's somebody else, Choma Peter, and he said Abaribe is acting a script of Biafra and PDP. This is PMBT 2023, and that is from Choma Peter. And obviously, I think the president is doing well enough for a large number of people to really say that he must continue doing what he has to do. And I think that's just more of the...
That's about all the comments that we can take right now.
About the useful comments that we can take that are useful for this
particular story.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is still Daybreak Africa, and like we always say, this program has a lot of contents and package with regards to the African continent. And up next is Amazing Africa. We would like you to know how amazing the African continent is. But just before we go to that particular package, we'll have to, from both of us here in the studio here, this is the end of the program. The program has come to an abrupt end.
We would be leaving you with Amazing Africa. Yes, to dazzle you with the beauty of Africa.
Right. So we do hope to come your way tomorrow, bright and early, on this particular program, Daybreak Africa. I'm Aisha Salihu. Have a blessed day ahead.
And I'm Victor Tehemba. Have a wonderful day ahead. See you tomorrow.
Right. Amazing Africa is up next.
Oh.